Yeah, this is the first game in our second best of three.
Yeah.
MacacoAlbino versus senjuer, the same person that just beat Bramboy 2-0. So I will have to see if Macaco can take some vengeance for Bram here, perhaps.
We'll see, yeah.
Scores are not correct yet, of course, because they are still the
Yeah.
ones from the previous game.
Just corrected right now.
I can't change them yet on my... Why am I even adjusting the scores on my screen? To have it, I guess.
You're so professional.
I disagree. But in the top right of Manchuria, in the color blue, I forgot to do this previous game. We have, as the British, MacacoAlbino. On the bottom left side of the map, in the color red, as the Germans, his opponent, senjuer.
Okay, so as Macaco requested, we're gonna check the maps. The gold mine are good. There are 200 TC for each players. Then third one, and fourth one. Yeah, the map seems fair to me.
Okay, I will trust your judgment. As a Japan player, I am absolutely horrible at figuring out hunt spawns. Do have some nice wood treasures.
Well, I think
Generally.
this one is this one, and then this one is this one. Sometimes you get the bottom. Sometimes you get one here, but neither of these players have, so I guess it's fine.
Oh, it seems like the Brit player is going for a market start with hunting dogs on the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually, there's not that many wood treasures this time. There's only one over here and one over here.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't seen another one yet.
Sometimes you have some small 50 wood treasures, yeah.
Oh, and the best treasure in the game, of course. Very easy to take as well. It's only guarded by 2 Mongol riders with 450 hit points.
So yeah, the 50 wood is out there, and there's also a stable treasure.
Oh, that's stable ones actually. Really nice if you can get it. Although again, you know, these Mongol riders are not to be laughed at.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
do see a little scuffle going on here. While they are bickering over who gets this 90 wood.
I guess none of them for now.
Yeah, probably. The moment anyone goes for this, the other player will just hop straight on it. If he keeps the Explorer in the area, of course. The Brit player actually using his crack shot to grab this smaller wood treasure means that if there does come a fight over the big wood treasure, he will not have that for a while.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
Germany actually getting a favorable pawn here in a way because of how the trade route is laid out on this map. There's 2 possibilities. Either it's a line with 3 of them over here,
Mm-hmm.
or the other option, this one, where it's 2 lines of 2 behind your town center, and obviously 2 behind your town center is quite a bit safer for the German player.
Yeah, I guess versus Britta Germany here.
Oh, look at this. The Ripper is actually going to go for the 90 wood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Possibly because he saw the German explorer on the other side of the map while it was scouting his base.
I agree with that.
So he knows it's relatively safe to take.
I guess, yeah, you were right about the stagecoach stuff, the TP lines. It's probably better to get the safe one. But the TP line spawn with the 3 on the left side is quite good also. Well, the stagecoach is better, but less safe, I would say.
Yeah, it's just more difficult to keep a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the yaks. 5 for German, 4 for Brits. So in all 3 games we've seen of senjuer, he seemed to be pretty consistent with getting a good number of yaks. So
Yeah.
definitely some very good play from a red player here. Showing that he is not some random scrub.
Yeah.
We see some wall fragments going up here for the German player. I think this might just be to scout, but on EP, these have very little sight radius, so it might just be to block a possible forward barracks.
I actually have no clue about this wall, but yeah.
Yeah, judging by him placing another one on the left side, I think it's just to scout, and he might be unfamiliar with the sight changes to the walls on EP. I mean, they still have some vision, right? So it's not completely wasted.
Yeah.
But I believe they used to have like the same sight radius as the house or something ridiculous like that.
So Germany is going for both TPs in transition.
This does look like a stagecoach to me.
Yeah, it's the greedy way, but yeah. Oh, he's dropping a Rex in base also.
Yeah, just playing defensive, which makes sense if you go for double stagecoach, right?
Yeah, makes sense, yeah. But
yeah, Brit is not going forward, so...
Yeah.
Or not a forward base, at least, I should say. He is queuing up Musketeers, so he might still try to put some pressure on. But it's not like tower in the front, 2 barracks, you know, Musketeer spam.
Yeah, it looks like...
actually. Pikes are not gonna do great against Musketeers.
He's queuing pikemen? Okay. Interesting choice.
And his house might actually not be in time to get the full batch. He does get the British Explorer with his 2 Ulans. And yeah, the pike gets out before the house finishes, so he couldn't finish the batch. Bit unfortunate.
Not sure yet about what he's trying to do.
Yet, so it's not a disaster.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the pikemen are for. Maybe he's anticipating a cav, semi-FF or something from the brick player, or in general just cav, you know, to raid perhaps while he's booming. I'm not too sure. We do see the 2 Sepoy, or the Sepoy, Yulan.
2 Yulan.
Very similar units, of course.
Yeah.
We see the 2 Yulan trying to come in for a raid, but the Musketeers handily push that back. Of course, this does give senjuer the information, okay, there's Musketeers. And we don't see him stack up resources for an Egypt just yet. Ooh, one of the Yulan getting dangerously close to death here.
Oh, poor Yulan.
We do see the pikes pushing forward actually. Is this some sort of pike Yulan timing push?
Well, this is weird. I'm not sure about what Yulan and Pike's gonna do versus British Musketeers.
I think I know what they will do, and that is die.
Yeah, it could be an option.
Yeah, we do see the first Yulan going down here. He did get a villager for his trouble, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and more Yulans getting picked off here. Very nicely spread out Musketeers from Macaco here.
Yeah.
And we do see another barracks and a stable coming down for the Brit player here.
I'm still not sure
the Brit
what
player
is...
just looking to make a mass of Muscus.
Yeah, not sure what Germany is doing right now.
I think a stable of his own and possibly looking to age, judging by his resource distribution. Yeah, we do see that he has the double stagecoach TP now, which actually puts him quite far ahead of the Brit player in terms of eco.
Yeah.
Unless he doesn't have a market yet. No, he definitely has market upgrades, yeah. And we do see great code from the Brit player and the German player as well, actually, so they both are expecting some sort of pressure on their villagers here.
That's true.
I like how he's using these pikemen he made to help take the treasure.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and the wild actually paying off. Those musketeers definitely walked in line of sight of that wall.
Yeah, well, he's gonna age right now, but he's probably gonna be in trouble trying to hold this 30 musketeer push.
Yeah, there's going to be Hussar reinforcing this, so the reinforcements will arrive quite quickly.
Yeah.
We do see some crossbowmen in queue for the German player, though. I doubt a single batch of crossbows will be enough to hold this.
No, definitely not. 5 crossbows is not enough to one-shot a musketeer.
Yeah. And we cleverly see the Brit player here going for the houses, because he knows that even if the German player reaches Fortress, he can't send shipments if he doesn't have population.
Yeah.
Ooh, some Yulan getting caught there.
Not sure why. Yeah, the Brit player was trying to go back. Wasn't sure why, but like 5 crossbows is not a threat at all.
He might have been expecting like an 8 bow shipment together with Miniman or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be.
Skirmishers in queue for a German, and I would imagine a shipment on the way as well.
Probably war wagons.
Yeah, versus Musketeers, that does seem like a good choice. Possibly 8 skirms as well, but I think he might have seen a stable with his Yulan, so he knows that there is possible cavalry reinforcements.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, war wagons might be better.
Yeah.
Oh, but it is the skirmishers.
It's skirms, okay. The problem is that he uses all his spikes to, in cover mode, to try to tank some musketeer shots, and he's quite vulnerable to a cav reinforcement.
Yeah, although there actually were some hussars in the area, but they got chased back by the explorer for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there. But we see that the Brit player has boomed a lot behind this, and he is about equal in eco now.
Yeah.
Even though the graph doesn't show this, these 2 trading posts with Stagecoach add quite a lot of eco, about 8 villagers worth.
Yeah, something like this.
Yeah, we do see the German player reinforcing with War Wagon Skirm, which against an H2 Brit player is definitely the best composition you can go for. The War Wagon is just like this really beefy unit that stands in front of your skirmishers. And even has a large model, so Cav really struggles to get past them. Yeah, they are a bit awkward to maneuver, sure, but their stats more than make up for that against a Musk-Huss composition.
Yeah, definitely.
And one problem that the Brit player will start facing relatively soon, that he will need to start moving his villagers over locations like this or this to get food. I can already kind of see that over here, although that he can probably quite safely hurdle. Judging by the amount of dead animals, he might have misheard it a bit there.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
But once the Brit player, his villas are exposed on the map like that, he might be in a lot of trouble if Germany starts pressuring those positions, especially since he does not have the 2 trading posts that Germany has. Like, Germany will always have some amount of safe income that isn't easy to pressure. Like, these things have 2,500 hit points. You don't just go over there and, you know, kill that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you can, but then you have to dedicate a lot of resources to it, and the German player sees that and then goes on a raid while half your army is sieging down a trading post. And yeah, we do see the Ulan going forward here, and there's going to be a couple of dead vills, probably about 3 or 4. Oh, but he sees the Hussar and just falls back.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, losing these Hussars also isn't great, of course. Sure, he saves his villagers, but losing 2 Hussar, definitely not ideal.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Brits...
And we do see a longbow switch from the Brit player.
Yeah,
because he still has
right
a
now.
good number of musketeers alive. I do like this, because you need just a bit more ranged DPS in your composition.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, even
to
though
be able to defend them.
6 longbows reinforcement plus Minutemen might be enough to punish this German player push.
Ooh, and the skirmishers being in front of the war wagons. Definitely not the ideal positioning.
Yeah,
Oh, but
definitely.
the Brit player has so many units here.
Yeah, if he can snare
This is
the
downside
war
to
wagon.
wagons, of course, just look at how clunky they are.
But he still got 9 war wagon, and these guys can totally clean these musketeers and a horse.
I actually don't like how he's kiting with the war wagons. He's losing so many skirms because of it. It's just kind of awkward to have your skirms tank for your war wagons. It's not the greatest.
Well, he got 9 Yulan on the way, so might be a decent choice.
And he actually picked off a lot of the musketeers in that fight, so these longbow are very vulnerable to the Yulan now. Are the Yulan vet yet? No, but they are close.
Yeah, yeah.
We do see the first musketeer card coming out though, and yeah, we smartly see Macaco reinforcing with more musketeers instead of adding more longbow.
Yeah, although Germany's gonna go for a raid and probably gonna do some good damage over there.
Yeah, there's currently nothing in position to really deal with that. There are musketeers smartly heading up there though, so I don't think he will lose the entire villager eco up there. He does have Great Code after all. Then again, Yulan do so much damage. Yeah, he might actually lose all. No. It's only losing 4 more.
Yeah, no, not all of them.
And he just chooses to fall back.
But he's floating quite a bit of wood right now, so he could probably drop a house, a manor house over there.
Yeah, just to get some extra line of sight.
Indeed.
Oh, but look at units lost. The Brit player actually. Why does it say that the German player has lost a church? Probably.
Oh yeah, I know.
Accidentally made one and
Yeah,
deleted
indeed.
Foundation.
He did that when the British player was pushing in once the German player has aged up.
See. Yeah, if you look at units lost, like the Brit player has lost so many units over the course of this game, and the German player also hasn't lost a single villager yet. This is definitely not ideal.
Still striking.
This H2 Brit composition is just so beefy. Just both Musketeers cards basically make these veteran. I mean, yeah, sure, the Longbow are still only colonial, and so are the Hussar, but really the Musketeers are what's holding this army together. Even though they're not good against skirms, you just need a good amount of Musketeers so that the Uhlans don't destroy your Longbow. And H2
indeed.
Longbow don't fare too badly against skirms.
Yeah, they do okay. Oh, he's gonna lose
As
more
long as
here.
they don't get hit by the Uhlans, of course. And we do see a couple more vills going down here.
Yeah, well, at this point, trading 3 Ulan for like 2 vills is very good for Germany, just because now you see the eco is quite similar, and with the stagecoach, he's ahead. Plus, he's in H3,
Yeah,
so you
sure.
get the tech advantage.
Yeah, not to mention the shipment advantage. Brits are going to run out of fruitful shipments to send. He has the cav upgrades,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it then.
He's-
Yeah, he only has cav damage to build ship. That being said, once he does ship that, he basically has veteran Hussar and veteran Musketeers.
That's true.
Oh, but more vills going down
Yeah,
here.
he lost like 4 of
And yeah,
them.
this is the problem. Brit player is just running out of Huns.
He's gonna lose at least all of them, I guess. And the
At
German
least all of
player,
them.
yeah, German player is doing such a good job at distracting the Brit player with some fancy raids.
Yeah, this is rough. That being said, though, like the German player is going to have to transition to mills relatively soon as well, and even worse, plantations. Although that being said, there's a gold mine in the back here, so he is fine for a while more.
Yeah, he got at least 4k coin, plus he got a few vills there, and he gets 2 hunts remaining on this side of the map, so...
Yeah, as long as he can keep Brit on this half of the map, he will have enough coin. But if the Brit player does somehow manage to break this choke he has, then Germany might get some coin struggles later on.
He's gonna
and
coat.
his army is getting
Yeah,
actually boxed in here. This could be massive.
I think Brit's gonna clean that, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, once
yeah.
these skirms go down, nothing can really deal with these longbowmen here. I mean, again, see that the skirms are tanking the cavalry, and yeah, the war wagons do kill the hussar eventually, but... Oh, and these war wagons are very expensive. Losing these is not nice. And yeah, just look at the Brit player pulling back everything that's not the longbow against these war wagons. Oh, and we see a counter raid from the Brit player as well, though there is reinforcing war wagons. At this point, I think you need to reinforce with something other than war wagons because you see this amount of longbowmen.
Yeah, you probably want to go a bit more heavy on... you can probably try to ship Jaegers at some point also. Because the Jaegers recounter pretty hard.
He does have Jaegers in his deck, yeah.
Yeah. They counter pretty hard longbowmen. I mean H2 longbowmen at least. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, I think the Brit player is just running out of eco here.
Yeah. And Germany is way ahead right now. He's even gonna add another TCO there.
Yeah, and that's going to give him all the coin he needs for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
If it even goes on for much longer, which I'm not sure it will. The Brit player is just being slowly starved out of the game here.
If Duzulan
And if those
can...
Ulans get to that mine,
Yeah, oof. Would be rough.
for sure.
Uh-oh.
Oh, more vills dying. Yeah. I think at least all of those villagers will die.
At least, yeah. Yeah, this is just over. Look at the eco.
If the Brit, I think the Brit player might have needed to take stagecoach of his own actually. Like the German army does not have that much siege in it generally.
That's true,
So-
but on the other hand, he's still on 130 minor pop.
Yeah, that's true. But I think with the stagecoach is like you don't deplete the natural resources on the map with them, which in a game like this is actually quite valuable.
Yeah. Oh, he's on.
And yeah, we do see Macaco resign here. And it seems like senjuer is just continuing his streak here.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I think the betrayer was like on 10 vills probably right now. Yeah, he had like 13 vills.
If you look at all resources, even with the double stagecoach TP, Brit was actually out gathering Germany for a good while. It was still relatively close though, but we do see that the Brit player had quite the eco.
Even though
But of course being an age behind makes it difficult to fight.
Yeah, that's the problem. Even though all the trades were not, the army trades were not that bad for Brits. At least the first one in H3. Then he couldn't reinforce quite enough with his eco just getting lower and lower.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's it, 1-0 for senjuer in this series.
Oh, and we already have the correct map. Look at Macaco being such a pro. Correct map, observer mode.
Yeah, he does get to counter pick, so senjuer is gonna pick first.
Just come. Apparently we had some bit donations that didn't show up, so we have 210 from Kao and 400 from Well High, which is of course Gibson, so thank you very much, both of you.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry for that. I had the same issue yesterday that the donation doesn't appear on my screen. Sadly, sorry about that.
Oh, he's going Japan again on Tibet.
Alright. I guess you don't change your winning save.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm quite happy that people are picking Japan. It's so rare that we see them in the tournaments. Macaco really thinking here, what can I pick against this Japan? He might have even seen the Bramboy game. Ooh, China.
China. Interesting.
Yeah, China historically being one of the best, if not the best civ on Tibet, of course. It's just, there's so many things that are good for China on this map. We'll have to see how it fares against the terror that is senjuer. Definitely showing his dominance in this group here.
I believe it's tab and smurfing.
I don't know who that is.
Joking, of course.
Ah, okay. Anyway, this time I will not forget the introductions on Tibet. So, on the top left of the map, we do have in the color red as the Japanese senjuer. His opponent in the bottom left side of the map in the color blue as China. MacacoAlbino currently down a game in this best of 3. If he loses this one, then something I don't quite understand how group stages work. I think it's based on the amount of wins in your group or something.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's quite out of this yet if he loses this series. I think it's like the top 2 in the group advance or something. If senjuer wins this though, he is probably very, very far ahead in his group.
Yeah, I actually think that only the winner of the group just moves on to the next stage, but I'm not quite sure about that, so... Whatever. Let's quickly check the map once again.
Very standard Japan stuff as usual, and again we do have the wood start. And it seems like he again got a wood treasure in base, so clearly the way to play Japan is to just get lucky and get wood stars all the time.
It could be a way.
Ooh, but we do see China posturing on this 90 wood treasure.
Yeah, I was checking the map. Seems fine. China got his Hans a bit further away, but not because he's not missing anyone. He's gonna pick 90 wood, which is pretty good.
Yeah, Japan just too late to have an attempt at stealing it there.
I like that he's gonna head the second village. He's probably gonna send northern refugees.
Oh, look at that, stealing the...
Yeah, stealing the macaque. Stealing the macaque on the MacacoAlbino TC is quite rude. Ooh, actually.
Yeah, on this map it's actually relatively relevant because of the yaks, although most of them have been picked up already.
Yeah.
I'm surprised actually China didn't pick up that macaque immediately. On a map like this, having the extra explorer is very valuable.
Maybe sometimes you confund this treasure with like a small 20 coin treasure or something, and he might think it's not relevant.
Perhaps.
Oh, not a wood treasure. It's so good for Japan.
Yeah. He'll probably ship Heavenly Kami again as his first card, I would imagine. He did it last game. So I don't see him changing that up. And this wood treasure, if he does ship Heavenly Kami, allows him to get an extra shrine. So...
yeah.
Heavenly Kami is one of those shipments that just gets like way better if you get wood treasures. And we do see the Shugo Shrine again as very standard Japan stuff to be expected. We do see that this time he is shrining more defensively though.
Yeah, and this time he's not...
he was shrining places like this.
Yeah, it's true. This time he's not putting so much fear on the Wonder. He actually got 0 right now.
It's probably because he knows China tends to be a bit slower, so there's no need to be quite as fast. You actually see that China is aging up extremely late.
Oh yeah.
Look at this villager though, he has 17, or 16, sorry. It's 17 is because one's in queue, of course. And he did get the 3 shipment with double village, with the northern refugees. And there is the Wanderer. And he puts a lot of villagers on the Wanderer, probably because he realizes he's a bit late.
Yeah. I believe he's gonna age in time, the same time
I believe all the yaks have been found. Yeah. And again, senjuer winning out on the yak wars.
Yeah. Still one remaining over there.
Yeah, I can imagine why. Yaks are not that big of a deal for Japan. The only reason you like want to try to go for them is so that your opponent doesn't get them.
I see.
They do way more for a civ that can eat them than for a civ that doesn't.
Yeah, it's true.
For Japan, it's like a 0.05 increase on shrines or something per yak.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not quite that bad. I think it's like no, it might be 0.05. I think it depends on which resource you put it on as well, of course. But it's very minor.
I trust you about the Japan explanation because I don't know that much myself.
Yeah. Basically, the more food an animal has, basically, the more it's worth on a shrine. There's a bit more to it than that, but that's the the short explanation.
Okay. If you look at the decks, China got a really industrial heavy deck.
Oh, I hadn't even noticed that. Yeah, for sure.
And
That might also explain the late H2.
and Japan got quite a few cards also.
Old Han is nerfed on EP though, so it's not quite the terror that it used to be.
That's true.
We do see a like just absurdly standard opening from Japan. It's difficult to say much about it. It's about as standard as you can get.
Well, he's opening with a Rax, which is questionable since you expect China to go fast fortress, so perhaps you don't need that Rax that early in the game, but
Well, it might be because it does happen from time to time that China ships something like the Stepper Riders to try and buy time for their age up, and then you kind of do need a batch of Ashes just so that you don't idle too much.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we do see just very economic play from China, and this time we do have the 700 coin shipment build order instead of the one we saw previously where you just gather all the coin you need and then ship the wood in transition and you just skip 700 coin.
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably because he knows he's playing against Japan, so he doesn't need to ship something like the 8 Shokunus, which he did do in the game where he went for the coin gathering strat.
Saging with
Japan
the
will probably
tower.
just age up here as well.
Could be an option, yeah. Send 600 coin. He's stacking quite a lot of resources right now. He's doing a really good job
China
as
will
shining
be
on the
in
map.
Fortress earlier. And this might be a response to him seeing the very industrial heavy deck.
Yeah. Guess he could go industrial himself a bit slower, but he could do it himself, I guess.
I don't think you can fast industrial as Japan against the fast industrial China. I believe China is just too quick.
Oh, yeah.
There's also not much need to do that. Once you reach Fortress with Japan, you have pretty much all the tools you need to deal with China.
Yeah, that's true.
Because China's counter artillery is actually even worse than Japan's. So they kind of struggle dealing with the flaming arrows. It's yeah, I think China and Japan have like the worst anti-cannon cannons.
I do believe so.
Like sure, the flaming arrows are nice because they are also falconets, but if the opponent makes culverins, the flaming arrows just they can't do anything. You need like 5 flaming arrows to beat 2 culverins or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, flaming arrows are not that much scary. Like, they are bad falconets, if I can qualify them like this.
Yeah, they are bad falconets that excel at beating other falconets.
Yeah, yeah, that's like
they are a
a
hybrid
cheap
culverin
curve.
falconet, like the what is it called? The light cannon from Iroquois, I believe.
Yeah, something like this, yeah.
They're a bit similar to that. But we do see both players in Fortress now, and it does seem like China is making some units in Fortress here, but he does have a fair bit of food, so we might still see the industrial agenda here.
Oh, Spike's gonna get caught.
Yeah, I do believe that's just a free army from the Summer Palace, though.
Yeah.
So it's not the biggest deal. But ideally, you get those units alive, of course. Every little bit helps.
Yeah, definitely.
And we do actually see that Japan is still missing 3 or 4 shrines from being on max shrine income.
Yeah.
So maybe going a bit not greedy here, because he realizes that if China is not going industrial and is just timing for a strong fortress push, he might be in trouble. And we do see that these yaks are starting to fatten here, so
Yeah, he's gonna
big
get quite
food
a
income for
good
China
boost.
soon.
Well, meanwhile, Japan is going really heavy on market upgrades. You got every single one of them, even imperial bureaucracy.
That's the huge one, of course. 150 of all 3 resources for a 15% increase in all gather rates, which is obviously massive. And we do see the cover mode monk here, while Japan is trying to defend his shrines from being taken down here. And I do think he will be able to protect them for now. Oh, especially with veteran Ashigaru tech coming in here.
Oh, he's heading a
But he
TC.
elects to let it go down, perhaps. Oh, second TC, yeah, that is quite huge. And yeah, if you look at Japan's shipments, he is quite clearly going for just a fortress.
Yeah, not going that much greedy, not sending like 7 wheels, but going heavy on
Yeah,
Nagis.
exactly. Japan having very strong fortress shipments here. People talk about, you know, Germany and such for having the good fortress shipments, but Japan definitely no slouch. 5 Naginatas is not something to laugh at. These are very powerful cavalry units, especially once you ship the 30% HP guard for them. And yeah, I love this play by him. Putting his golden pavilion on hit points when he is going so heavy on Nagi. Just look at these. They have 400 hit points without the guard. Just monstrous units. And people don't do this enough. They just like leave the pavilion on range attack, you know, sometimes putting it to speed when they are raiding with Ashes. But like the health pavilion is extremely underrated when you are mixing in any amount of cap.
Yeah, that's true. Nagis just tank so much with this deck, sorry.
And we do see 5 meteor hammers coming in out here for the Chinese player, but I do believe that there will be enough Japan units to safely kite these for now. Some of them actually just idling a bit there.
Actually, China just lost so much wheels right now.
Oh, I did not pay attention to that.
What? He lost 17 wheels in total.
Oh.
How did we miss that?
Yeah, he might have not been paying attention there.
Yeah.
We do see the red coats from the consulate here, but I feel like this is too little too late. And there's a 30% HP card, and look at these. These Nagis have 500 hit points.
Oh yeah. This looks very tough for China right now. He's so much behind in Eco right now.
Yeah, not just that, but once Japan gets in a position like this, they are just so comfortable.
Yeah.
You have your veteran Ashigaru, you have your veteran Nagis with the HP card, and from this point on you just ship 5 Nagi, 8 Ashi, and then, you know, maybe Ashi damage, or maybe even the Yumi if you get them to veteran.
Yeah,
although he will probably need to ship Orchards at some point, actually. I take that back. Yeah, Orchards are running out, so he will need to ship those next. But he's fighting constantly at the moment, so he will have plenty of experience to do that.
Yeah.
There are the Orchards.
Indeed. Alien and Changdao's just shipped from the Chinese player, but they are mostly infantry units from the Japanese player.
Yeah, this is definitely awkward. As China, you're dead here, I think. I'm not sure what he could do here. Well, maybe... Does he have iron troops in his deck? Okay, he has iron troops. So if he can somehow get 1,000 coin and have like a good iron troops plus Minutemen pop at his town center, with maybe like a red coat badge from the consulate or something, with some skirms that he can sneak out in the back, there might still be a chance he can push this Japanese army back. But even then, he is so far behind in eco. Not only does he need to hold the Japanese army here, which I do think is possible, he also needs to basically win on the spot then.
Yeah.
Because he is so far behind in eco. And yeah, more reinforcing Nagi, and it's just so difficult to deal with these. Sure, you have the Changdao, but those get picked off by the Ashes really easily. And you only have 3 arquebusiers at the moment.
Yeah, he just sent a shipment, but...
Well, look at this. He actually didn't even get time to eat his yaks. I think that might have been his biggest mistake, actually. There's like 6 fully fattened yaks here.
I think he underestimates the Japanese early H3 timings.
Perhaps, yeah. We even see close combat coming out here now.
Oh yeah,
now even
very
the
good.
Ashigarus are just really monsters. I'm a bit surprised he's not getting the Golden Pavilion upgrades for his Ashes. They are quite good. Especially the Flintlock one. It's not too expensive for a 10% health increase, which is definitely nice. It is a bit expensive, of course, and it only affects your Ashigarus. But if you look at his unit compositions, it is mostly Ashes at the moment.
Yeah.
It's 33 Ashes, or 32 Ashes, so getting 10% health there is basically 3 free Ashigarus for 100 wood and 100 coin, I believe. Might be 150 of each. Which is cheaper than 3 Ashigarus.
But China has to take the fight right now because this is gonna go down.
Yeah, and there's 13 more villages in there, which is basically half his eco.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just over.
Yeah, I hate having to say the game is over before it's actually over, but yeah. Macaco agrees. It is over.
Alright.
Japan just showing that if you don't punish them for going to Fortress, they are not to be messed with. I mean, I know I've said it several times, but 500 HP Naginatas, you know, that is nothing to laugh at. These are extremely dangerous. Just look at that, 35 damage with a 1.5 multiplier against infantry.
Yeah, they're very good.
These are just extremely powerful lancers. Sure, their damage isn't quite that of a lancer, but they more than make up for that in just sheer bulk.
Yeah, that's true.
Take a quick look at the graphs, and yeah, Japan, you know, about equal, but then once fighting happens and China has to, you know, sacrifice villas and idle them and run them back to the base, you can just see that Japan just shoots ahead in eco. And in the military population, you can just see that China was really struggling to get anything together. And in the first fight, you can see just how well it went. Japan loses 10 population, while China goes from 37 to basically nothing.
Yeah.
You just can't give Japan this much time. The first fight was after he had shipped 2 military units and had both veterancy upgrades. With Nagi HP on the way, it's just, you can't do that.
I think this 1k wood shipment from the Chinese player is a big mistake. Like, he went the 1k wood. He went full greedy, and meanwhile Japan went full army shipments. And therefore he wasn't able to defend his village and TC that he just built.
Yeah, basically. That was, yeah. I mean, senjuer 4-0 today.
Yeah, who can stop him right now?
Going 2-0 in both best of 3s.
Yeah, that's true.
We might need to keep an eye on him. He looks quite promising, and he plays Japan. So if nothing else, I'm keeping an eye on him.
Are you gonna bet some points on him?
I don't join in the betting.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
If I was, though, I would go all in on him every time. Just because he plays Japan.
Alright.